All right, hello everybody. My name is Jared Weathers, and welcome back to the Weathers Media Podcast. And today, we might have another person joining later, but as of right now, I'm here with my co-host Aaron Ament,
How's it going, guys?
and of course, Jason Crawford, who's been on the last couple episodes.
How you guys doing today?
All right, guys. So we have huge news we have to start with today, and I will share my screen for you guys so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Okay, so we have 18 wrestlers, 9 backstage producers, and 2, as Aaron has told me, 2 referees. So WWE has released today Kurt Angle, Drake Maverick, Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows,
Wait,
Heath Slater.
Ryder got released?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Eric Young, Rowan, Sarah Logan, No Way Jose, Mike Chioda, Mike Kanellis, Maria Kanellis, EC3, Aiden English, Leo Rush, Primo, and Epico, and Scott Armstrong, and Shane Helms. All gone.
Jeez.
All gone. Jason, I want to start with you for this. Who's the biggest name you think that got released today?
I would have to say Kurt Angle is
I
a big
agree.
shocker.
Yeah.
You know, him being a gold medal Olympic, you know.
Yeah,
I
just
think
came back like 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago.
right. Still in good shape, man. I just don't understand why I do understand, probably don't have the money due to the circumstances of what's going on now.
Right.
But yeah, I would have to go with Kurt Angle.
Aaron, who's the biggest name to you that got released today, or well, as far as we know, anyway.
To be honest, I'm not really surprised Angle was released. He wasn't doing anything. He had his last match last year at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He really wasn't doing much to really stay in the company. In my opinion, I think the one that really shocked me was Leo Rush and Gallows and Anderson too, because they were just competing at Mania
Yeah.
during the Boneyard match.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought that they were going to run a good angle between one of those and Undertaker in the future, like maybe SummerSlam. Mike Bennett or Mike Kanellis, if you want to be WWE. Maria Kanellis shocked me. Hawkins and Ryder really shocked me too, because
Really?
I love them as. I mean, yeah, they were just on WWE's YouTube channel like literally yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yeah, but they're not really doing anything in the company. They haven't
Well,
been for
no, but I
months.
mean, well, no, but I still feel like they could have done something with them eventually. But
Uh, the last time they were on Raw, they got squashed to the Viking Raiders.
right,
I'm actually kind of surprised it took them so long to cut them. Honestly, they're not using them like they should be.
right.
Um, no, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I think Drake Maverick is probably the biggest shock, just because,
He
just
was in the tournament for the interim cruiserweight
right,
champion.
yeah, and he was announced for that, and now he's gone, along with the former NXT champ or the NXT cruiserweight champion Leo Rush. Um, I'm not surprised Primo and Epico got released.
It's not surprising to me.
No.
They've been helping with their dad with the World Wrestling Council in Puerto Rico. They've been helping him for the past year. So
And they've been around for a while too.
they have, yeah, 20. Well, Primo, I think, was it Primo Epico who was with Carlito before he was released.
Primo was with Carlito in like 2008, 2009,
Yeah, so he's
something
been
like
there
that.
the
And then
longest.
Epico joined the company in like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not far off, but I mean,
So yeah, they've been around for a while. I'm so glad they got rid of No Way Jose.
Yeah,
So glad. I hated that. I hated No Way Jose.
yeah.
that gimmick was just stupid.
Who gets
Not a fan.
enjoyment of running around jumping conga lines with a bunch of random people?
Apparently
See,
he does.
in my opinion, it was like if Adam Rose was that race, because Adam Rose did like the kind of like conga line, I guess. He
It
had
wasn't
the
really a
little,
conga line. He just had like a whole bunch of people around him all the time.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was too distracting
It
off
really
him.
was. It was.
yeah. But I loved Adam Rose. He was
I
pretty.
did too. That's because he actually has charisma.
Look at what Seth Rollins did. It was Seth Rollins, and now he's Monday Night Messiah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have. Yeah, he has some people around him, but you know,
But you know who they
not
are. It's not just a
right.
bunch of random people.
Especially like dancing around, throwing their
Yeah.
hands up in the air. I, mm,
But yeah, that's just crazy. 18 wrestlers released by the WWE. AEW is gonna have a field day with that.
They
oh yeah,
will. They will. Oh, I just updated the article.
I feel what would be really cool is if AEW signed Rowan, so he joins the Dark Order alongside Brody Lee.
and
Uh,
what
guys,
else shocked me too was Rusev.
What?
yeah, Rusev. I just refresher. Rusev got released just now.
What?
Yep. Yep.
Eric Rowan or
Yep.
Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan. We said Rowan was released,
Yeah,
Yep.
but Rusev.
Rusev is gone.
God,
Rusev is out. Yep.
that's crazy.
Rusev to AEW, please.
Yes. Yep. He's gone. As far as we know, Lana's still in the company.
Mhm.
Good for her. Uh, yeah, man. There's a lot of people losing their jobs right now.
It's crazy.
Refresh
I
this.
wonder if I wonder if there's going to be any more
Oh,
I'm sure
there's
there will
definitely gonna be
be.
more.
released.
Yeah,
Probably in the next
I'm
couple
definitely gonna
days
stay
or
on this
something.
article and refresh it every now and then and see if there's any more people while we go through this. But yeah, so Rusev is the newest release from WWE.
I would love to see Rusev in AEW. Honestly,
That'd be
Oh, he would have
amazing.
a
I
heyday.
would. I would.
Be amazing.
Like imagine all the former WWE signees. I honestly can see Hawkins and Ryder going to AEW and tearing it up as a tag team.
Oh yeah,
Honestly, as
yeah.
Brian Myers and Matt, I
Cardona,
think that's whatever. Yeah, Matt
Cardona. Yeah.
Cardona. Or
Um,
or they could be Brett and Brian Major, the Major brothers.
I don't think they own that name.
WWE doesn't.
Oh no.
That was their names when they were in the Indies before they were signed by WWE.
I know, but what wasn't also the name in Ohio Valley too?
I
I think so.
don't remember.
Because they were the, I think they talked about it. I think they were the Major Brothers in OVW before they
I
became the.
maybe
They,
I don't entirely remember too
they, they,
much.
they were the Major Brothers when they debuted.
Yeah, but they were the Major.
Because
Trying
because
to think.
they weren't Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins yet. Because that wouldn't come
No,
till after.
right.
Because they were still called the. I think yeah they were still called the Major Brothers
Hmm.
while they were the
Who knows?
Edgeheads.
Who knows what we'll see in if they sign with AEW.
Yeah.
But yeah, with also the revival being released on April 10th.
Yep.
Um, wow,
Because they
a lot of top guys being released by the company.
I
Oh,
would have called No Way Jose a top guy.
Well, I'm not.
no,
I'm not
he's the
just. No,
bottom.
I'm not saying him. I'm
Along
just
with
saying.
Aiden English, he's the bottom guy.
Well,
Yeah, he
he
was the
moved
top guy
to
in my opinion. He was
he,
he,
he
he was the
oh
top guy in my opinion. He
in
had charisma. He had the it factor to be
he
a
was, but then he
winner.
got hurt and then he became a
Yeah,
commentator.
right.
So I don't think he is at the moment, but I know he was there with Rusev as Rusev Day.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm still just kind of cycling through this.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Aiden English in NXT when he was with Sonny Gotch.
Yeah,
with
the
the
Vaudevillains. Maybe we could see a reunion of them.
In
Aiden English
AEW or
time
something.
Yeah, because they're still friends. Like they've been friends like
Oh
the
yeah,
entire time.
yeah. They've always been friends. Like
Yeah.
you hear tag team partners like, oh yeah, we're not friends off camera. We're just a
Right.
tag team, and then like they don't hang out. Same with Hawkins and Ryder. They've been best friends since high school
Yeah.
or longer actually. They've known each other, I think, their whole lives.
Well, yeah. Well, they grew up in the same on
Yeah.
Long Island, so.
Yep. So like
Well, that's just like the Iconics. They've been best friends since high school.
they went to wrestling school together. They
Yeah.
grew up together. Same with technically Gallows and Anderson. They became best friends in Japan.
Yeah, it's Bullet Club, but they're best friends. Like they're
I,
brothers.
I think I think what's funny, Carl Anderson's real last name,
yeah,
Allegra.
yeah, that is pretty funny. Well, his first name's Chad
Yes, he
Allegra.
is.
Like that's hilarious.
And Brian Drew Hankinson.
Yeah, Drew Hankinson.
That's crazy. It's weird.
Yeah, it is.
That's like
I
Or
like how Heath Slater's real name is actually Heath. Like I like that they just kept his first name.
right.
Yeah, see that's how like some of the wrestlers are from WWE. Some of them, like not all of them.
It's weird that
Like
Eric Rowan's real name is
Leo
Joseph.
Rush
Like that
is
doesn't fit him very well.
like Leo Rush. His real name's Lionel,
Yeah,
Lionel
and they
Green.
just take Leo out of the first name.
yeah. Well, I mean, he's used Leo Rush his entire career.
Yeah, right. That's crazy. A lot of releases today, not just wrestlers, but backstage and personnel and referees.
And referees, crazy man.
That's crazy.
Let's get it.
It's terrible. But yeah.
Yeah, so Rusev is the latest name. Let me cycle this again. We'll see if it updates.
And then Royal Farms Arena canceling Money in the Bank.
Are you skipping around? What's happening?
No, we're just talking about the releases.
Okay, but you missed one. WWE is deemed essential, an essential
well,
business. So WWE can now go live 3 times a week every week, even though the ratings are very, very terrible.
Yeah, right.
Just over 1 million for Raw, just under 1 million for NXT, and around 1 million for SmackDown every week. I mean, they're abysmal. Why keep going, Aaron? Why keep going with live TV?
Vince, see, with Vince, he's an egomaniac. He doesn't want to stop doing it because he feels like if they stop, people will forget about it, and when it comes back, it's just like what is this? I feel like they should just stop because stay home, stay safe. It's not worth going out like this. It's not.
Right.
I just feel like they should just take a break.
I agree. Jason, do you have any thoughts on them going live 3 times a week to middling reviews or ratings?
No, I would have to agree with Aaron. I don't. They should just stop until everything's done.
Yeah.
Have it come back in a new, more aggressive way, I guess.
Yeah.
It would seem better in their favor. More ratings, more profit, I would assume. But they also got to think about all the wrestlers that don't have great immune systems, like Roman Reigns.
Right.
He was battling with leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
His immune system's not all that great. you know,
Very true.
I just see they should just wait it out. And I
I
know
agree.
that means everybody's going to be losing money, but you got to think of the long-term outcome.
Yeah. The Royal Farms Arena canceled Money in the Bank. Jason, could we see another Performance Center pay-per-view?
Yeah, I would have to say so. I mean, if they're canceling, like Royal Farms Arena, what makes it think that they're gonna cancel like if they go to Madison Square Garden or somewhere else,
Right.
that have more I don't know. You guys get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Aaron, with
with when it comes to Money in the Bank, I feel like it's too risky to do a Performance Center show because you have so many people in the ring at one time. I think they should just postpone it until all of this is like until everyone is okay to do stuff normally again. So again, I feel they should postpone it because especially with Money in the Bank, there's so many people in the ring together. There's not a good social distance between each wrestler. They're all,
right.
I'd say postpone it.
So with AEW filming all their shows to the end of May, their next pay-per-view is actually in May. It is Double or Nothing, the
Mhm.
second one. Um, do you guys think we're gonna start with Aaron? Do you think that they could have maybe already filmed that when they did all their filming in Georgia, or
I feel like they did film it. Because with the circumstances, I feel like they were smart enough to know, hey, this may not this may be happening until said date. So I honestly think they filmed Double or Nothing already, and they're just waiting to release it on the said date it's supposed to be on.
uh? So, Jason, I have to ask you a question. Do you think that AEW put it out for free, or do you think they're still gonna have people pay for it?
I think that they, you know, that's a tough decision. I'm gonna have to go with they might charge for it due to, the wrestlers got to make money and stuff, but I also do seeing them out of with the circumstances going on, to keep people watching. I do think that they might do it for free.
All right. Um, I believe they should. So this next question is for both of you guys. We're gonna start with Jason for this one. Could the WWE do another Firefly Funhouse match in the future?
I mean, I could see them doing it. I don't know who, the Fiend would go up against next, but I'd like to see another Firefly Funhouse match.
And Aaron, who do you think they could get probably to do a match like we saw at WrestleMania?
I don't think they could do another one because the thing is, the one with John Cena was perfect. It was. I don't think there's anyone else that Bray Wyatt has had history with that they could do it with. Maybe Daniel Bryan, but I really don't think
I was
doing
thinking
another.
more of the big dog Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but they really haven't had much. They didn't even have a singles match, I don't think.
No,
The
but the Shield and the
no,
Wyatt
but
family's histories are both
yeah,
intertwined into
but
each other.
with Bray Wyatt as a singles wrestler, they didn't really do anything with him and Roman Reigns. They only had him cost the money in the cost Roman Reigns the money in the bank briefcase for Sheamus to win it, and then that was it. They didn't do anything after that. Well, I mean, they had the Hell in a Cell match, which, in my opinion, was great. One of my favorite Hell in a Cell matches of all time.
I mean, you
I
could do it with
hate
Seth Rollins. Um,
But yeah, but again, I just don't feel like there's enough to really do it. I don't know. See
see,
again,
the way
Daniel
that you're
Bryan would be a
thinking,
good one.
the way that you're thinking is that Bray Wyatt has to have some kind of history with these people, and usually
Right.
he does.
Yeah.
But for a
And,
Firefly Funhouse match, I don't think history with Bray Wyatt really comes into play as we saw with the John Cena match. It was really more comparing John Cena to Hulk Hogan and how their rises have were the same. And when Hulk Hogan was becoming less popular, he did something that made him beloved again by a whole new generation of wrestling fans, whereas John Cena didn't. I think you could do that with Seth Rollins trying to be pretty much like Jake Roberts at this point, trying to be a god in wrestling fans' eyes, just like Jake Roberts was almost going to be. Or you could do Roman Reigns, which is pretty much the same thing they did with John Cena. He's the next hand-painted guy just because someone said so. So
I just feel like it would be better if Wyatt had history with the person to make it more, you know, personal.
I mean, how much more personal could you be with? I mean, Seth Rollins. I mean, he pretty much gave Seth Rollins a win at Hell in a Cell 2014. I mean, he tormented him a
Right.
lot more than I think people really realize
Right.
uh, before he turned into what he is now.
Well, even when he became the Fiend, he did go back after, John Cena, Kane,
Roman, Seth,
Roman, Seth with the claw, the handable claw.
yeah.
So I could
I
see
I
more.
just have a different perspective of it. But I see what you're getting at. I see what you're saying.
I think they could do it, but it has to be done correctly.
Right.
Like I said, I think Daniel Bryan would be a good one.
But what would that really entail? Like,
Well,
because everyone loves him, no matter if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I mean, he's Daniel Bryan.
right.
Uh, I don't really know what the Fiend would really make him see what he doesn't see. You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm not see, it's just really confusing because it makes you think.
I mean, I guess if you think it's confusing, but I don't know.
No,
Like
I just think this is confusing, like thinking about it.
I gave you two pretty good choice, especially the Seth Rollins thing with trying to be Jake Roberts. I mean, I just kind of pulled that out of nowhere. To be quite honest, I didn't even think about that till right now. All right, we're gonna move on. So last week NXT beat Dynamite for the first time since they both went live. Um, is there anything anyone wants to add? Kind of what this means for NXT, or
I think it's just a lucky strike. I feel like AEW will come back today.
Yeah, they will.
I
They're
think
more.
I feel like it's more of people just not wanting to watch wrestling right now, with it not being no fans allowed kind of thing right now.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe NXT just becoming better. I don't know. So Aaron, we're gonna start with you. If Lesnar returns to WWE, which he may or may not, Who would you want him to see him face next? I mean, we've seen him face Drew McIntyre already. Is that like what route would you want him to go?
There's honestly no person for him to face, really. Like, I mean, maybe the Fiend.
Kind of hurt
Yeah.
both of them.
But like, see again, like I really don't want to see Lesnar back. I really don't. As much as I like Brock Lesnar, I don't want him back.
Okay.
I feel like he's already done enough in the company to where there's really nothing left for him to do.
Right. Jason, same question to you.
I would like to see the Fiend and Brock Lesnar go at it. It'd be a good match. It'd be a good business decision.
I don't know.
All right. Um. So we're going to.
What about you, Jared?
I honestly would like to see him face Tyson Fury because we haven't seen that. I think it'd be cool. So we have a UFC fighter here, Colby Covington, who says he wants to quit the UFC and join WWE in summer 2021. Aaron, do you think it's good to keep adding UFC fighters to the
I,
wrestling roster?
I feel like it's becoming a cliche now, and I don't like it. It made sense when Velasquez showed up because Velasquez and Lesnar have history. But, and it's also making sense with Ronda Rousey coming to the WWE too, when she came to the WWE. But now it's just becoming a big cliche, and I don't like it. The UFC fighters are ruining what pro wrestling is because they're like, oh, I can do that. If they can do that, then I can do that. Not everyone can do it. Yes, you may be athletic and have speed and strength, but really, like, can you wrestle?
I mean, most grew up as wrestling fans.
Right.
Like
And
Rousey, Kane,
that's
or
another cliche I don't like.
even
Again,
Tyson Fury, a former boxer.
I just don't like seeing UFC fighter, MMA fighters, and boxers trying to become wrestlers.
Well, I mean, it started with Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn, so.
But Ken Shamrock was actually good at it, and so was Dan Severn.
And who isn't good at it?
Velasquez.
I mean, sure, but he's better than
Mayweather.
most wrestlers.
Right.
Yeah, but Mayweather isn't trying to get a full-time job as a wrestler.
Well, no, it was a one-time thing, but like still, it was bad. It was terrible.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
drew
he's not trying to be a wrestler. So
no, I know that.
one time versus a lifetime is different.
Terrible. I just don't like it. I feel like they should stay in their sport.
See, now if you say that, then you should tell Ken Shamrock to go back to UFC. That's where he started. Tell Brock Lesnar to go back to amateur wrestling. That's where he started. That's his sport. Tell Titus O'Neil to go back to football, or The Rock to go back to football, or Roman Reigns to go back to football,
or Baron Corbin,
or Baron Corbin going back to boxing.
Yeah.
Or tell Del Rio to go back to wrestling because he's not a UFC fighter.
Or CM Punk, or
tell CM Punk not to do MMA anymore because that's not his sport. There's a lot of people that like to do a lot of different things. Tell Bobby Lashley don't do MMA anymore.
Yeah.
Go ahead and fight Bobby Lashley and tell him not to do something. I would like to see that.
Right. He'd throw you around that fucking
Oh
ring.
my god, dude! He just like pick you up and be like, no.
He'd pick you up like the monsters off of Space Jam, where they put Michael Jordan into
That's
a
not what I'm
basketball shape.
saying. What I'm saying is these MMA fighters trying to become wrestlers should not happen. I don't like it.
Okay, but the point that me and Jason are trying to make is the more you say that, maybe you won't get a Baron Corbin. Maybe you won't get a really good wrestler. You know, I'm not a fan of Brock Lesnar, but I mean, for what he does, he's pretty decent in both sports. Even well, I don't know how Tyson Fury wrestles. I didn't watch him, but I didn't know who he was. But I don't know. I understand what you're saying. I disagree with it. That's all. That's all that is. Just a disagreement. All right, let's move on. All right, so since we did wrestling first, we're gonna go to the national news. So the UFC is officially canceled. Uh, Aaron, what does this say for the UFC fighters?
I don't know, they're not making money now.
No.
But I mean, I feel like eventually UFC will be back. Eventually. I, I don't really watch UFC anymore, so I really don't pay attention.
Do you think they could utilize the new island that they got?
Wait, what? They have
Their
an
island?
island?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. They bought an island.
Oh, I don't remember.
Apparently.
Maybe that the whole NASCAR driver. Oh, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I didn't change it.
Oh, okay.
Jason, how do you feel about UFC being officially canceled for 249?
I mean, it impacts everybody, you know, especially the people who like watching UFC and stuff like that. You know, the fighters aren't, you know, they're not doing their, you know, social distancing. You know, they got to be close to one another. You know, uh, you know, I do see them eventually utilizing that island that they bought, but you know, with UFC officially canceled, you now is, you know, it's affecting everybody. You know,
Yeah.
especially, you know, people looking forward to watching that. You know, being stuck at their house.
Especially people, the people that aren't famous, you know, they're the everyday kind of workers who set up the octagon and the concession
Right,
workers and
like everybody's out of a job.
yeah,
Referees, you know,
yeah, all of them.
judges.
Yeah. Um. So there's a news story that's been going around. Um, NASCAR driver, I forgot his name.
So, hold on, I'll look it up.
It's Kyle something.
Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson, that's right. Kyle Larson, NASCAR's been doing the virtual racing. I think it's called the iRacing simulator on TV. And Kyle Larson decided to use a racial slur on national TV. Didn't even wait to get an answer if anyone could hear him. And so we're gonna start with Jason. Jason, what did you think when you heard about this?
I was shocked. I was like, I looked at my girlfriend when I heard the news, and I was like, "That is very strange. I wouldn't, you know, expect somebody to go on there on national news, especially you know them being a professional NASCAR driver.
Yeah.
You know, which is you know they're always on TV and always on, you know,
Yep, their mics are always hot. Like you just
right."
you can't expect not to be heard by people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't want people to hear what you said, then you shouldn't say it, you know?
Right. Aaron, uh, was it a good idea to fire Kyle Larson?
Yeah.
I agree.
No questions asked. I don't even watch NASCAR, so like I really don't pay attention to stuff like that, but they had every right to fire him.
Yeah, I agree. This is really gonna hurt his career, and I was looking him up the other day to kind of see what team he was on, and he's on a team with Kyle Busch, and he's a pretty good racer. Let me tell you. So that's gonna hurt his image. It's gonna hurt Kyle Busch's image. It's gonna hurt his team's image as a whole.
All the sponsors that he had too.
Yeah, which one of them is a friend of the show, Monster Energy. So I would say just wait and see all the sponsors dropping like flies over this one. Music artists are waiting to release new music. I believe Cardi B is holding her album back, but we have seen other people who haven't held their music back. Aaron, if there's anyone who you would want to hear new music from this year, who would it be for you? Because we already got an Eminem album. We have The Weeknd's new album that came out. Joyner Lucas's album came out. Is there anybody else you'd want to see we get some music from this year?
Hobson.
Hobson.
Yeah.
Good choice. Yeah, she
Definitely.
said he's working on a new album, so maybe we'll get it this year.
Hobson and Tech Nine would be nice.
Tech Nine releases like 5 albums a year. He does so much music. Like, it's crazy.
He doesn't stop.
You know, my choice is gonna have to be Tech Nine. I haven't heard like some like good music till back when like Hood Go Crazy, you know, on the Bible, you know, Psycho, you know, shit like that. That shit
man,
like it's my, you know, blood going.
Red Kingdom from Tech Nine.
Yes.
Good song. That's a good song.
Or Sex Out South.
I haven't heard that one. I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Dude, that's awesome.
We even got some new Jessie Reyez this year with one of her songs off her new album was with Eminem, Coffin.
That's a good one.
I love Jessie Reyez. She is such a good singer.
Yes, she is.
I first heard her from when she was on Kamikaze.
Kamikaze, yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
That's the first time I ever heard her.
Yeah. I think she's written a lot of songs for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that she dropped her album. I mean, we are getting some new music, but there are, you know, like I said, Cardi B's holding her new album back, so because a lot of people want to tour, but I mean, just drop the album. Like people want to hear it. Like you can't hold that stuff back. Like people will eventually.
And how artists are complaining, like
Yeah,
it's a global pandemic. Just because you can't release your new music doesn't mean you have to whine and cry about it. Like
right.
seriously, do your damn part. Stay home.
Yeah,
Like,
just drop the album. Like everyone just make music.
Pardon my
French,
but for fuck's sake.
While we're stuck at the house, you know?
Yeah, like come on.
And then, you know, then worry about going to tour after everything's done, you know? When you could throw that new music and everybody's already know the music and they could sit up and start fucking jamming to it with you.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
The one artist that is annoying me the most about all of this is Cardi B.
Yeah.
She won't shut up.
Yeah.
Sew her fucking mouth shut. Jesus.
Another artist I'd like to see some new music from would be Offset.
Oh yeah. That'd be cool.
Or Blueface or you know, shit like that. You know.
I'm really hoping we get some new music from Rico Nasty, honestly.
Or T Grizzly.
I'm not as big a fan of T Grizzly as most people are. It's just a personal thing to me. I don't like the way he raps.
Right.
Did you hear though? That him and Eminem are kind of having a beef.
Who? T Grizzly and Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, I loved it. My brother Cody listens to one of his songs. I can't remember what it is now. And
I listened to First Day Out.
First Day Out, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. And I thought he listened to more than that, but he just listens to one song. So I'm like, hey, so off of Eminem's new album, I can't remember the song. Oh, it's You Gonna Learn with Royce the 5'9" and White Gold.
Right.
At the end of it, at the end of Eminem's verse, he says that he. Oh man, I'm gonna have to let that line up now because I can't think of it off the top of my head. Give me 1 second, guys. I just said it. You gonna learn. Let's see here. Okay. It ain't even worth dissing someone so offbeat that they can't even figure out where their words should hit the kick or the snare. That's like this whole like last part is a diss towards T Grizzly.
Right, especially the first one that says I am too violet and too grizzly to bear.
Yeah, like everything between those two lines are a diss towards T Grizzly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
He like tears them up with just that one fucking verse right there.
he does. He does. And well, it's funny because T Grizzly's like he went at Eminem and Royce the 5'9" and said that uh they don't support people from Detroit, and I don't. That's not true, as we've seen in the past.
Right.
Especially Eminem. You know, Eminem and Royce are both from Detroit. They, you know, their whole careers have been intertwined with Detroit culture and Detroit rappers. I mean, it's crazy to me that anybody can think that those two don't support Detroit rappers. But yeah, we're gonna move on. I don't want to go off on a rant right now. So we got some football news. Who's ready for some football news?
Let's get it done.
All right. So the Rams traded Brandin Cooks to the Texans for some reason. Do you guys know who Brandin Cooks is?
Not off the top of my head.
He's a wide receiver. He played for, I think he played for Minnesota for a little bit. He was on the Rams for a couple years. He's really good.
Didn't he used to play for the Packers?
I don't believe so. Let me look it up real quick. I don't believe so. But he has been on a lot of different teams. Whoops. IN. Let's see here. We will. Oh, he started his career with the Saints, played on the Patriots, went to the Rams, and now he's on the Texans.
Okay.
Yeah. He got drafted round 1, pick 20 by the Saints in the 2014 NFL Draft. He's only 5 feet, or he's 5'10". He's 5'10". Yeah. But yeah, I really like watching him play. When he has a good quarterback, anyway. Yeah. So Bill O'Brien's on the hot seat because he keeps making all these stupid moves. He got rid of DeAndre Hopkins for some reason. And I was bringing Brandin Cooks in as to replace Hopkins. Whereas you could have had Hopkins on one side, Cooks on the other, as a double threat. But Bill O'Brien is not a very good, and he's the GM and head coach of the Texans. So, is there anything else you guys want to add about these trades that the Texans are doing?
No.
No.
All right. Tom Brady filed some new trademarks. Tampa Bay is one of them. There's another one. I can't remember. But he's filing new trademarks to, for like shirts and stuff. Since he's on Tampa Bay now. Tampa Bay may be looking to sign Gronkowski too. Jason, how would that kind of work with him being a wrestler and maybe going back to the NFL?
I mean, that'd be pretty cool, see Tom Brady and Gronkowski one more time.
Yeah.
It was a good punch duo. I don't see Gronkowski like becoming like a full-time wrestler per se.
Sure.
Probably like doing shows here and there, hosting them, being like commentary or something, but
kind of like Pat McAfee is.
Yeah.
Aaron, could we see Gronkowski maybe get released in this new era of wrestling?
I don't see him getting released this early. He's already signed a 5-year deal or so.
True.
I don't see him leaving wrestling to go back to football. He retired from football for a reason.
True.
So I don't see him going back to football ever.
Okay. Drew Brees, I couldn't think of his first name for a second, is going to join NBC Sports after he retires. Aaron, would you be more inclined to watch NBC if Drew Brees is a part of the commentary team?
I mean, it'd be interesting.
It would.
I don't think I'd watch it more just because Drew Brees is going to be on it.
Sure. But I mean, yeah. Jason, since ESPN got Peyton Manning, who with Brees obviously isn't retired yet.
Right.
But in the next few years or so, do you think whose ratings do you think will go up because of the quarterbacks? Do you think ESPN will go up because they have Manning, or do you think NBC is going to have the higher ratings because they have Drew Brees?
I think NBC is going to have more ratings over ESPN. I see that Drew Brees is more popular than Peyton Manning is now,
Yeah, very true.
Because, as soon as Peyton Manning left football, he kind of dispersed for a little bit and then went to, ESPN. And other than that, what else is he doing,
Right. So the XFL filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy over the weekend. They liquidated everything. They're having an auction here pretty soon for all the assets, which includes the team names and the logos. Now I know me and Aaron talked about this. So we're gonna start with you, Jason. Do you think the NFL should buy the XFL and maybe buy the AAF and kind of transform it into their own AAA team or the AAA league?
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea. More people, more job opportunities, from people or, sports people that coming out of college, that, play football,
Yeah.
better opportunities. So it's just not like, oh, hey, I didn't get drafted. What else am I supposed to do?
Right.
Um,
Um.
that'd be a really good NFL business decision. If they do it.
Yeah. Um. Aaron, do you think within the next 10 years we could see the NFL and the NBA kind of add farm systems like the NHL and MLB already have?
Maybe. I'm not too sure. Um, so it's hard to tell right now.
Okay. All right. Let me rephrase. Would you like to see the NFL and the NBA add farm systems?
Maybe, to be honest, not really.
And why is that?
Because I feel with like the NFL, they already have their system with college basically as their minor league. Same with NBA, you know?
Sure, but uh, at least okay. From my point of view, because obviously you can play hockey and baseball in college as well. But from my point of view, the way that the farm systems help younger players, um, kind of adapt to the style of play that they want from their players, um, which I think the NFL really needs because a lot of the young kids that come in, they're not they're still playing college style, so they're still in the college mindset. Um, and they don't really have any direction. I think it would really help uh, the NFL bus list go down a lot, um, because they're kind of reined in the AAA system, or I don't know what they call it in hockey,
What the
the farm system. Because I know baseball uses the AAA, AA
oh
names. I don't know.
the NHL uses the OHL, AHL,
Right.
QMHL.
Like we have the Detroit Red Wings. They have, the Detroit Griffins,
Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids Griffins.
Grand Rapids Griffins. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
It's
it would help rein in a lot of the young kids, especially the ones that don't get uh, drafted right away, because they could still sign with the different farm teams and still get that knowledge that. And I mean, not everyone's gonna be a star, you know,
right.
and but if they're good enough to play on a farm team, just like in baseball, I mean, they could be there for their entire career and still rack up a whole, still win championships and still,
Yeah,
get, you know, records and stuff. I don't know. It just, I feel like it'd be a better way to
just
do
getting
that.
your name out there,
Right. Yeah. Because the way that uh, the AAA or the AHL or whatever teams, their region, um, they're regional. So I think it's. I guess Aaron could probably answer this for us. Do you guys get the Griffin games on TV down there?
Um, it depends. Most times, no. Because I mean, I'm literally 20 minutes from Grand Rapids, so if I wanted to watch
Right.
the Griffins, I could go to Van Andel.
True.
So, but I think for they show the away games, but like rarely. They don't really show them.
Really? I thought they would.
No, they
Huh.
really don't show the minor league games. They show highlights of them, like on the news and stuff, but they really
Right.
don't broadcast the full game on
Oh,
like Fox Sports Detroit or any of those.
that's weird.
So
Because I know
yeah.
baseball will. In some places, their regional teams will be on whatever affiliate they, NBC or Fox
Mhm.
affiliate they make a deal with. I just think it's kind of interesting that the Griffins don't do that.
Yeah, none of the hockey teams do that actually. It's
Really?
not just the Griffins, it's the whole, yeah,
Oh,
as far as I know at least.
no, we're gonna have to change that because that's just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even if it's like a summer league,
Mhm.
I feel like the NFL could really benefit from that.
I mean,
Right?
possibly, yeah.
Is there anything you guys want to add before we get out of here?
No.
Yeah, let me refresh WWE's page to see if they
Yeah,
have.
I'm doing that too. Seeing if anybody.
Oh, Rusev says
Rusev.
Rusev.
Yep.
Yeah, Angle.
Doesn't look like anything's really changed here. Always thought Mike Chioda's name started with a K. It just sounds like that. Kyoto. You think it
Yeah.
starts with a K. Um. Yeah. All right. So this is a very interesting day.
Oh, WrestleMania broke records.
What records?
Um, it was the most social event in WWE history
I saw that one.
with 967 million video views across the company's digital and social platforms,
Yep.
including the WWE Network, WWE.com, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Yep.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
That's insane.
Um. But yeah, so we are. I mean, if anything comes up within the next couple of days, we'll do a bonus episode for you guys. Um, we'll add to the news about what happens. Uh, at least for me, I'm also looking for more wrestlers being released
Mm-hmm.
and more
Same.
news about
I'm definitely keeping track of wrestlers being released.
who buys the XFL stuff. So as of that, um, do you guys want to plug anything before we get out of here?
I don't care.
No, same old stuff.
Same old stuff, Instagram and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the real cast comes out on Sundays. So, if you made it to the end of this, please listen to my friend's album he released this year, Mo Stacks on Spotify. He has a 6-track EP with one of his friends, Marco. I believe his rap name is Marco Baby. So go check them out. The EP's name is Grandma's Boys. So go ahead and check that out on Spotify. Um, I have new stuff. Jared Weathers official on YouTube. Jared Weathers YT on Instagram. Wrestler 616 for Aaron. Uh, yeah, I mean
Yep.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You can find
Yeah.
this, the real cast, and maybe we have something else coming up. You can find all of it on Spotify, the Weathers Media Podcast Network. Okay, it's all in one place. It's all the shows that we have and more upcoming, and so go ahead and check that out. Before we get out of here, I want to tell you guys the stats I have for the people who listen to this. Now, I don't know if this interests you guys, but it was pretty interesting to me. Um,
Oh wow.
so 86% of our listener base is from the U.S., obviously, and 13% is from Ireland.
Interesting. And then we have 81% on Apple Podcasts. Wow.
Yeah, 13%
That
on Spotify and 6% other.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
You would think that we'd get more listeners on Spotify.
yeah, you
That's
think so?
and wait, they actually say what gender listens to our podcast?
Yeah, it's all dudes. It's all guys, and it's all
Oh my
23 to
And
27.
then, oh geez,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, why don't we should bring some females on here, getting some like females listening to the
Females won't
podcast and
listen to other
shit.
females. They
I
fight too much.
I would be down for that, but the thing about that is, there's really no female that I know, at least, that watches or listens to anything we do. That's the problem.
Hmm.
I
That
mean,
is a problem.
my
Even if
girlfriend
we did get
watches
a female on the
almost all the
podcast,
shit I watch and that we talk about.
I mean, if she wants to be on the next one, that's up to her.
All right, well, I'll talk to her.
Yeah. Talk to her about it. If she does, great. If she doesn't, that's up to her.
great.
So I'm just sitting here looking at your screen there, and it says non-binary, 0%. What the?
Yeah.
I don't
It's either
understand.
you're a female or you're a male. Sorry. I don't know what the hell.
I'm not gonna get into this debate.
Yeah, can we stop?
I just don't care enough. It's not doesn't affect me in any way, so I don't care. That's just my take on it. Nothing to do with me, not my life. But yeah, so I just thought that was weird. 13% from Ireland. Let's see if 93% on a Mac device. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so that's why I like Anchor, because they give you all these stats. So yeah, we only made 17 cents off of the sponsorships I did. Very upsetting. I thought it was gonna be more. But yeah, so Weathers Media Podcast Network. I'm gonna have to change the logo for it, but that's the new name, Podcast Network. We have something in the works, so everybody, be on lookout for that. For Jason Crawford and Aaron Ahmed, I'm Jared Weathers, your grateful host. Thank everybody for listening, and we will see you next week.